Hello, hello. Welcome to the Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky, or COCBLOK, as we're better known as. My name is Matt.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're COCBLOKers.
Hey now. Man,
What?
So how you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Okay, so we missed last week. We've gone without an episode for a week. Jeff was actually overseas in some foreign country. I think in North Korea.
Do you know why I played that music? To start us off?
Why'd you play that music?
Al Green, Let's Stay Together.
I mean, I know what the song is, but why did you play it?
Because that's, you know how when Pulp Fiction begins?
Yes.
That's the song basically playing and then Vince and Jules are in the car.
Oh, yeah.
And Vince is telling Jules about his trip to Amsterdam.
Oh.
And everything is so different in Amsterdam. You know, you can get a beer at the McDonald's, whatever it is, and there's the Royale with cheese. Well,
so you've been enlightened, and you're gonna.
So I've had this kind of Pulp Fiction Vince moment coming back from Copenhagen and Denmark last Friday, in which, man, everything is so different. You can pay $7.50 for a 10-ounce beer.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's really great.
So Jeff was out of town. He was in not North Korea. You were in Copenhagen, Denmark.
2 months in North Korea. But for now, I was in Copenhagen, Denmark.
That's top secret. We can't talk about that.
I was on official business, but while I was there, I was drinking some beer.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you something about Copenhagen.
Okay.
This place is amazing. First of all, everybody speaks English.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even know that. Okay.
The person making you coffee and hanging out in the street and do you know how to get everybody speaks English.
Okay.
And so that's, of course, if you're like some
is it all like American English, or where they have like Southern accents, or is it like English where they're
I'm gonna tell you, man.
Or Australian?
Americans are the worst with languages.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas the Danish must be among the best.
Even the people that speak English can't speak English.
No,
here.
we speak terrible English.
Yeah.
I mean, English is not my first language, as you know. Mm-hmm. But okay, so
I love that you keep saying that.
The beer situation, though. Also, so many American beers there. So many. I mean, it's just amazing. You go to places and you're like, well, Founders is on tap here, or Dark Lord bottles in the Mikkeller bottle shop.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Did you go to the Mikkeller bottle shop?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so is it pronounced Mikkeller or Mikkeller?
Actually, I think Mikkeller. I think sometimes I say Mikkeller, but then I hear people saying Mikkeller.
Well, I've heard both, and I've actually said both on occasion.
I think it is Mikkeller, actually. And Mikkeller pretty much owns Copenhagen, it seems. There's the Mikkeller bar I went to.
Yeah.
There's the Mikkeller and Friends bar, where they had 42 of his own sours on tap one night.
42 sours?
Of his sours, of his Spontaine different variations.
Was the 43rd tap, was it antacid? Liquid antacid?
Well, you kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, you can't drink that much for these prices. Also, some of them were really expensive. And just the regular priced ones, I mean, I probably had 4. And then we went to his bottle shop, which is in this really cool little indoor food market area.
The Mikkeller bottle shop?
The Mikkeller bottle shop, which also had tons of American beer and also Mikkeller beers I'd never seen before.
I should have told you. Had I know you were going there, I should have told you. They actually owe me a bottle they put out some beer that was aged in like 8 bourbon barrels, and it was completely infected, and it was like $15 for a 12-ounce bottle. And I wrote them. I think you and I talked about.
You did mail order?
No, I bought it at the Beer Trap.
Oh,
yeah, but it was disgusting. It was gusher, and it was like infected. It was kind of sour, and I wrote them, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we hadn't heard anything. Yeah. We'll send you a bottle, and we'll give you some complimentary beers also, but you have to place an order on our website."
And you're saying he didn't do that?
No, he said I got to place an order on the website. I'm like, I'm not paying another $50.
Well, the bottle shop is probably about the size of the studio. It's incredibly small, maybe a little bit bigger. You can't hang out in it so much as just stroll a little bit. I bought a couple beers and brought back, but you can buy in the cooler bottled beers and drink at the food market where it's located.
So can you like walk around outside?
You can walk around outside. You can walk around Copenhagen with a beer, basically. You can walk around outside with an open bottle. They don't have any glasses, which is I hate drinking straight from the bottle so much. But I did get a couple things there. Some tall boy, Tool, T-O.
Toel. It's like Toel. I think, yeah, Toel.
Ask someone, how do you pronounce it? Toel. This is a language that's impossible to say anything. So if you say, everyone greets you with, hey. Now, how do you spell hey? H-E-J.
Really?
Yes, which you think is hedge.
Hedge, yeah.
Hey, not hello. Hey, very happy people. And then the one other Mikkeller place.
They're all drunk, that's why. They're walking around with open containers.
And then one other Mikkeller place we went to, there was 2 of them, we walked to the wrong one, way too far away, he has a ramen shop.
Like ramen noodles?
Yeah, ramen noodle shop. It's called Biru Ramen. And there's actually, I don't know if I've ever seen in the States, he has a canned beer with the same name. It's red, and it has this kind of weird design on it. So we went to his ramen shop as well. So we were doing it was basically like McKellar Disneyland in Copenhagen.
So they're very well positioned in that city. Then
the whole city seems to be McKellar. The other cool places were War Pigs. That was the first. As soon as we got to our apartment, I said, "Man, War Pigs was a 5-minute walk away. We're going to War." Our apartment is literally right across the street from the Central train station, so really convenient. War Pigs. Very cool.
Now, what is War Pigs?
War Pigs is the McKellar Three Floyds bar in Copenhagen. They're a collaborative bar.
And they actually put a beer out.
Oh, they put out a whole bunch of beers called War Pigs.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of stuff on the board called War Pigs. There was also zombie dust on the board. And my colleague, the first thing he ordered was a zombie dust. I'm like, what are you doing? We're in Copenhagen. Why are you ordering zombie dust? You can get zombie dust at home.
Yeah. Do you have any Sierra Nevada Pale Ale?
I never see it at home, man.
That's hilarious.
No, we see it all the time. I just saw it yesterday at Beer Trap. Anyways, the War Pigs beers, they taste just like Three Floyds. So that kind of, they're hoppy.
Everything's hoppy, yeah.
And then, and the other thing that happened at War Pigs, which was kind of cool, on Thursday, there was the Hill Farmstead tap takeover.
Okay.
Everything. They had a little truck outside with Hill Farmstead taps, and then the inside was all Hill Farmstead. There were bottles, which were outrageously expensive. And it took an hour in line, even though there weren't that many people. The thing about service in Denmark is it's so friendly and, hi, how are you? And it's not like here where surly people are serving you. So the line wasn't even that long, and it took an hour to get through and you were limited to 5 pours.
So everybody's like going up to the front of the line. They're like, huh?
Yeah. Well, in front of me.
They're like, Hedge, how are you?
In front of me, there were a bunch of Brazilians, and there were so many of them that it was like limited to 4 or 5
I know
pours.
You didn't mean it anyway, but the way you said Brazilian sounded so racist.
And there were so many of them that they could order the entire board. You were limited to 4 or 5 pours, but there were so many of them that you said, okay, well, 5 for this guy, 5 for that guy, 5 for that guy, and they ordered the entire board, which must have been pretty pricey.
Yeah.
And they see people with these giant trays of beer going to sit down on these long benches, drop the beer, fall. The other cool place, which I can't pronounce, we went to was, Evil Twin has the bottle shop where he started. It starts with an O, Olfebugen. Anyways,
I don't know.
It's supposed to be one of the great bottle shops of Copenhagen. That's where he got to start, where he was doing his home brewing before he became Evil Twin. He was a school teacher. He has a bottle shop. And we went there, and it is super tiny. I mean,
like tinier than the other tiny that was the size of this room?
The amount of beer, there aren't even that many beers in there. I mean, there are good beers in there, and you see some American stuff like Lost Abbey and Victory and things like that. You see some Danish stuff that I've never heard of, and not a lot, but some things I've never heard of. There's a couple coolers, but there really isn't that much. And there was Amar, which we can get here on tap.
Amar?
Amagaer, which we probably are pronouncing Amagar.
Yeah, honestly,
it's really Amar.
We can't pronounce it.
It's called Amar.
Amar.
So he had some just recently kegged IPA I'd never heard of on tap, which was cool. We drank that. And then he was so friendly, the owner, and he took us, I want to show you all the new boxes of beer I got, which was a tiny little closet behind. But they were very friendly and cool.
And stuff like that. Yeah. I think that's the coolest stuff is when you get somebody that's so passionate about it. It's not about like, I need to make this much money by this deadline and like I'm better than everybody else. It becomes a thing to where it's like, I really enjoy the craft of beer and I enjoy what I do and I want to share it with people. And I feel like based on your conversation, but based on like what other people say about like, going to Europe and stuff, it's a lot more prevalent over there than it is here.
We were walking back from the ramen place and we just stumbled. I saw a beer bar and I saw a big bunch of chalk menus and I could even see from the street Cantillon Goose. So we got to go in there. Let's see what it is. It was packed, and it was Evil Twin's bar. His beer bar. It's called Himmergit. I don't know what it's called. It starts with an H. HIMM ERIGET.
Nice.
And it had about I don't know if it was 8 or 10 really cool taps, some stuff I'd never heard of, plus a bottle list that was insane, full of Westbrook and all kinds of really American bottles. Too. I didn't buy any bottles, but the other thing we were mentioning, the friendliness, a guy was standing there for a side project, and I just went bottle that I guess he had bought off the list, and I said, oh, wow, side project here in Denmark. He goes,
which one was it, out of curiosity?
I forget. He goes, do you want some?
Okay.
I don't even know who you are. You don't know who I am, and you gotta.
It's almost like you go like it's like going to Dark Lord Day or something, where it's a huge festival.
We're just in a bar.
Pour beer.
I mean, one of the reasons because it was CBC, which is the Copenhagen Beer Festival.
Yeah. And
so the people we were hanging out, we met by chance, were Swedes and Norwegians, and you see tons of Americans hanging around the city that day.
And just to flip back, just so everyone knows, Side Project is actually a brewery out of
St. Louis.
St. Louis. It's not an actual side project of McKellar or something.
But the friendliness was absolutely off the chart and insane. There's another place called the Firmament, which was it's not far from War Pigs. Another really cool craft beer bar. We had a lot of interesting beers. There's like Dry and Bitter is a Danish brewery, had a lot of their stuff. Very
Dry
good.
and Bitter?
It's a Copenhagen brewery. Very good. Met a lot of interesting folks there again from other parts of Scandinavia who had flown in, and they're all.
It sounds like McKellar's like the mafia over there. Like they get their hand in
Fermentorian
everything.
It's not his bar, but it was popular when we were there that night because it's so close to all the other action, and all the Scandinavians seem to be critical of each other.
Wait, what do you mean? I thought they were all really nice.
The Norwegians are like, oh yeah, the Swedes, they're so stupid, and the Swedes are like, oh, the Danes are this and that. But overall, they're all nice and friendly. I think so. I was there in 4 days. I kind of slacked off. I only had 48 new beers.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's it. It's so pricey though. That's the thing.
Yeah. So are American beers over there as expensive as like getting something like Cantillon from Belgium or something is over here?
Yeah.
Are they really?
Well, when I went into Cool Ship,
like how much was the zombie dust? Do you remember?
On a pour, at least $7, which is all right, I guess.
Wait, for what, like 12 ounces?
It's about 12 ounces, yeah. A little less, I think.
Okay, and what's the zombie dust? 3 Floyd's zombie dust. What is it here, like $3 or $4?
I mean, the bottle's $3. So, I mean, in a fancy beer bar, if you saw it, I'm sure it would be...
I'd say about $4.
$4.
Right?
No. I don't know how much traps...
Seriously.
I don't know around the country what you would pay for on tap. That in a fancier place, I mean, you have to think they pay more taxes. There's also no tipping, so everything is folded into the price. So that causes it to be a little more money. Okay. Yeah, Dry and Bitter was a cool. Teul. We went on the opening day, so Teul had its brand new tap room opened up when we were there. So we went there on opening day, and it was just jam packed.
I bet you that would be cool.
It was cool. It's called Bruce, something like that.
They put out some pretty good beer.
The Fermentorian beer was also good. I had what else did I have there? Ugly Duck is a Danish beer. The War Pigs Crooked Moon Crooked Salad was pretty good. That was a special tapping. There were all kinds of special tappings going on. Oh, so Cool Ship was the place next to McKellar and Friends, which someone we know from Louisville now works there, who used to brew briefly at West 6. It's very, very tiny, but the bottle prices were also insane.
Okay.
I saw Cantillons on the that you could buy and sit in, but
the place is called Cool Ship?
It's Cool Ship, like a cool ship,
Yeah.
Like a open fermentation.
Yeah, like the actual Cool Ship.
There's actually a place in Indianapolis. Actually, Central States has a place in Indianapolis with the same name. But I would say, man, it was cool. Copenhagen, it's just like, I really feel like Vince and Pulp Fiction now. Man. We should all go.
I want to go.
We should all go. It's easy flight from Chicago.
Like when you say we should all, do you mean like me and you? Or are you like inviting like the entire central state of
everyone? We should
Lexington?
Do a big COCBLOK trip to Copenhagen.
Oh my gosh.
Is it a direct flight from Chicago?
We could like rent a plane.
The bathroom stayed clean the entire time. Nobody messed the bathrooms.
See, now I know you're just making stuff up.
No, the bathrooms were clean on the plane.
Lying.
The plane. Sometimes when I
cannot believe you've been making this story.
I've been on long distance flights, 8-9 hours, where you can't use the bathroom at the end of the flight. And on the flight to and from Copenhagen, the bathrooms were perfectly fine. Everything was great.
So you enjoyed yourself.
Oh man, enjoyed it.
Is that your first time going?
That is my first time in Denmark, and if all goes well, I'll be back next summer.
Okay.
Lead a group of students over there. We can get some UK students to come with us and do a study abroad.
So that way it's like part of...
That's the whole reason I went. I met with people at the institution.
How do I enroll in your class?
At the institutions over there to do a study abroad.
How do I enroll in the Facebook class of Dr. Jeff? Do I just got to be really adept at Facebook?
Sure.
Yeah, is that all it takes?
That's all it takes. You just have to be a UK student.
Dr. Jeff.
Getting your core requirement in the humanities and social media. And
well, that's cool, man. I'm glad you had
a lot of fun.
You enjoyed it, huh?
A lot of cool stuff. A lot of good food, man. The best pulled duck sandwich I ever had in my life. And
I don't know how many pulled duck sandwiches I've had, but
it was the only one I've ever had. It was awesome. And the smoothie open-faced sandwiches with the herring on top and the potatoes.
Salty.
Drool. Homer Simpson drool. It was so
nice.
Good.
You're ridiculous.
Anyways, let me just rub that in that I got to go abroad for a week and drink good beer.
Well, while you were abroad, I was getting behind on work, so that's why we didn't have an episode last week. That's my only excuse.
Do you have a job?
No, I don't actually work. Yeah, I troll the internet for beer posts and make fun of other people. Yeah. Which I've been really good at offending people lately.
I heard about that. I heard some stuff that's happened recently.
No.
You've been at the heart of some controversy.
No.
I
don't even, honestly,
I hear things.
Honestly, yeah, that's not even worth mentioning. But yeah, in general, I think I like to have fun. I like to make fun of people.
You like to meet girls. You like to meet guys.
But yeah, I make fun of people here and there, and I think it's it's all in jest. People make fun of me too. I'm cool with it, but some people get a little aggravated and they don't want to hear it. So let them go back to.
That's a good point.
Go back to their moms and tell them how handsome they are and stuff. That's all.
I wish my mom would tell me I'm handsome.
My mom tells me I'm handsome all the time.
My mom.
I love you, Mom.
You don't do enough for me.
Okay, so the CDC is that
CBC.
CBC.
Yeah, it's the Copenhagen Beer Celebration that happens once a year. It is, I guess it's like on par with JBF kind of thing, where they do sessions, and it's a huge festival. People from all over the world show up.
You mean
GABF.
Okay, yeah,
GABF, the Great American Beer Festival.
You talk so fast sometimes, you're like...
The Great American Beer Festival in Denver.
Yes.
So it's kind of maybe a parallel event, but its reputation is one of the better world beer events to go to, and it seems like it's well worth it if you like a lot of that. Crowds, if you like all the crowds, but also special tappings and emptying your wallet over a week. This is really for you.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, basically.
Well, I just we'll get into the honestly the main beef of our conversation was probably going to be Craft Beer Week, which is currently going on
all over the country. American Craft Beer. It's American Craft Beer Week all over the country, and we have it right here in Lexington, Kentucky.
But I want to segue with the Copenhagen Festival into a we talk about mead a lot, and there's a meadery in particular that I'm very fond of, and they were actually represented at this Copenhagen Festival, and their stuff's expensive. It's more expensive than most meads that I've seen, and recently they had they have a membership program where you can sign up, pay some money, and you get a certain allotment of beverages, and you can you get first right on some other ones, and you get a discount on some other ones. It's fine. But this one was pretty expensive, and I know on Lexington Community Radio we're not really.
Also, we don't want your wife to know what you spent,
and we don't want my wife. I hope she's not listening. But this was I signed up a little while ago, and the amount that I actually am going to receive, which will be really soon, is 5 bottles, and the amount that I paid was in the 3 figures. And I'm kind of like wondering, like I keep saying, is it worth it? I don't know. I'm on a big mead high. We've talked about mead over and over again. I think mead's kind of like the next iteration of craft beer. But
mead is pricey.
Yeah,
good mead.
I'm gonna be getting these bottles hopefully within the next couple of weeks. But I won't say who it is, but it's kind of got me thinking about like membership programs. This meadery was actually represented at the Copenhagen Festival. They've won tons of awards, so I guess from a pedigree standpoint, it's probably warranted.
And we said already they're in Arizona.
Okay, well, it's superstition. Just go ahead and say.
Oh, we're not supposed to say who it is?
No, I don't want a lot of people just badgering me like my wife's gonna do any day now.
Like, when are you going to share that with us? I've been a member of 2. This is the first time you've been a member of a club? I've been a member of 2 clubs.
This isn't the first time. And there haven't been many, but I am a current member of the Chicao Club.
Oh, right. That's in Cincinnati.
Out of Cincinnati, yeah.
A lot of people here are members.
And that wasn't that expensive,
It's also really accessible because you just drive up for an hour.
Exactly right. You get like 4 bottles, and it's not all that much. It's priced within a normal bottle. And they give you some swag. They give you like shirt and glass and stuff like that. I wear it in the studio sometimes, but...
Easy day trip. Let me go up and get my bottles. Come back.
Yeah. This one, the price of the Superstition one, I mean, it's akin to like, I don't know, some super really highly sought after like bottle of wine times 5. And I was a little put off, but I think their stuff is incredible. And which is odd, they actually release their bottles once a year, all at the same time, rather than like periodically throughout the year. So it's actually coming up. It's going to be in like the next week, so I'll get to try some stuff from them.
So basically, I need to be at your house when you're not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Grab your box.
Some of the stuff they have is like 2 of them are barrel aged meads from I think third use barrels from Madeira barrels from Black Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from the brewery Bruery out of California. So they actually use some beer barrels to age them in. Some of them...
Are they fruit ones?
Huh? Fruited?
Did you have fruited?
I think they're all fruited.
Oh, everything's fruited, but also barrel-aged.
Yeah. Yeah, all 5 of them are barrel-aged, and I believe all 5 of them are fruited, too. And they'll have some extras there, so I might get a couple extras. I don't know. So we'll try some. If you're lucky. If you're lucky, I'll let you try some.
I'm willing to do whatever I can. I'm willing to earn it the hard way.
Yeah. Well, I need to try some stuff with you anyway, because you're kind of like you're not really into meat, and because you haven't really had any.
Like I don't know all these high end stuff. I just don't know it. I haven't had it.
Yeah.
I know everyone is just so hip these days. Here, especially here in Lexington, there's a certain group of people who are really really into these high end meats. I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
And since I don't go to special releases often, I just can't with 2 kids drive all the way out to Indianapolis or wherever.
No, I can't either.
And do it. I just don't have a chance to get it. And I don't like to bother people like, hey, will you mule for me? Unless I can do muling too, and I'm not doing any real muling lately. So.
I stay so busy I can't either. Yeah. I used to trade a lot more with stuff, and that way I can kind of circulate some things, but it's I don't know what's gonna happen.
But these would sound much harder to trade for, it would seem, because they're so rare.
Yeah, I don't know. There's people that are already looking. I kind of did a quick search just out of curiosity, actually for the sake of this show. I say that, but seriously, for the sake of the show, I wanted to see what kind of demand there is out there, and there is, and I'm not going to trade any of the stuff, but. Yeah, I wanted some of these membership programs and stuff. I'm wondering if it's really beneficial to consumers, or but we need to take a break.
Take a break? Okay.
Yeah.
I can talk about it a little bit after membership too.
Keep everybody.
So you are listening to WLXU COCBLOK 93.9 FM in beautiful, beautiful Lexington, Kentucky. Oh man. Oops, that's the wrong.
Now turn the music on.
Into it, man.
Hey now. Hey now.
You're trying so hard. I've actually been under the weather a little bit, so I kind of got this I got this deep raspy.
Yeah. This is COCBLOK.
Welcome back.
The Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky on WLXU FM 93.9. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Matt. And we're talking about memberships. These membership programs. So a lot of these breweries, some other places like these meaderies that we've been talking about, they offer membership programs. So the idea is that you basically prepay for product. You put up a certain dollar amount, you get a certain number of bottles of beverage in return, be it beer or mead, and how they structure it is up to them. Most breweries will kind of space it out over the course of a year and do one every quarter year, right. Or a couple every couple months or something. The meadery Superstition out of Arizona that I just signed up for does it once a year, which is kind of interesting, and it's actually rolling around for me, so I'll get to try some of their stuff soon. But you would think in principle that prepaying for a product should get you some sort of incentive, maybe a discount on it, but the way it's going nowadays, that's not the case.
It's more nerd oriented.
Yeah.
When I lived in Missouri, I may have mentioned this in the past, I did the Lost Abbey one. First there was 2. There was called Saints and Sinners. The first time I did it was I
remember how that glassware.
Maybe Saints was the basic one, and you got a few extra special things, and then Sinners was you got all the super special extra, and you could have chances to buy extra things. So that's how I got Duck Duck Goose and things like that.
Yeah.
And then recently with my friend John King in Louisville, we did the Sarah one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you in the Sante Adarius Rustic Ales?
I did
SARA.
I did it one year with him, and he has a friend out there who would pick it up and ship us. Are you not
in that anymore? Or
I decided not to do it another year.
Okay. Was it not worth it?
They're great. I love those beers.
This is what I'm asking. But is it worth it?
I guess I decided at the end it wasn't anymore worth it to me to keep spending on them. It was really pricey, and I'm spending already way too much money on beer, and I still have a lot I want to share with folks here because I got a lot of bottles, and I don't. They're not really the kind of things I want to drink by myself because they're big and acidic and
with your membership to Sarah to Sante Adarius, how many bottles did you get
total for the year?
For the year,
man, I got to go back. I don't know if it was a dozen or so. I got to go back and look.
Was that allotted in the membership, or did you buy extra?
I think each time we had an opportunity to get an extra one, we might have.
Okay, so what?
You put up a bunch of money up front.
Or something?
Yeah, and you get so you have this, maybe it's something like that, and you get 6, and you have some opportunities to buy extras, and I'm pretty sure, I was kind of zoning out when we were doing it too. I was like, I would just be like, okay, man, whatever, give me, he said, well, do you want to get some extra? I said, sure, let me get
that's a really
that.
highly sought after brewery.
It is, and it's really good. And I guess that's why I decided to do it. So we'll go back to, is it worth it? So what are the opportunities for me to have this beer?
Yeah.
I think I had only one opportunity prior to joining the club in which someone sent me one just for their trade, but we kind of already knew each other a little bit online. He said, oh, hey, I have this, do you want it? I don't care what you send me back. That was the only chance I'd ever had to try the beer.
Yeah.
So it was an opportunity to try a bunch of their beers, and I guess in that sense it was worth it for the year. But I didn't feel I wanted to up the money a second time around.
Was it pretty pricey?
Yeah.
In comparison to some of the other clubs?
They're all pretty pricey. They're all going to be 3 figures. Right.
Okay, yeah. Well, this one in Cincinnati out of
except for stuff maybe not.
Well, that one is 3 figures, but it's right at right at 3 figures. It starts exactly at that moment, and with that one you get 4 bottles. So when you divide it out, it's still.
So it depends on what we're talking about in the 3-figure range, but sometimes I just feel like,
and that's still pretty expensive. Now they give you some swag. They give you a shirt, and they give you a glass.
I did get that sweet Sarah glass.
Yeah, which is cool. Which I want that glass? I'm gonna break into your house and steal it. I'm gonna conspire with your wife. But yeah, you get some other stuff. But I mean, is it really worth it? The one I do with Triple Digit. At the end of the year, I was gonna cancel it because I wasn't blown away by some other stuff. But or actually, I'm sorry, middle of the year I was gonna cancel it. But then I started having some stuff through the end of the year. I was like, I'll go one more year.
What if a local brewery, either in addition to or in place of their bottle releases, decided, you know what, we're going to do a club. We're only making 200 bottles anyways each time. Let's do a club. Let's sell some memberships. And over the period of a year, you'll get 5 bottles from each of these 200 sets.
Well, those
would you do local?
That's the other two factors that kind of play into this. One is the locality of it. Is it convenient for you? Is it going to cost you extra to ship it?
But now you don't have to ship it.
Yeah,
you don't need a mule to go get it for you.
That helps. Something like Santa Darius that you got to ship across the country. You got to pay a lot extra.
So we have to pay him to ship the beer.
Yeah,
we have to send beers back as a thank you.
Whoever because you have to have a friend basically pick it up for you. What we call it a quote unquote proxy.
So you got to buy a bunch of beers locally and send them back and plus you paid for the shipping, so you're not paying twice.
And you're
paying for the shipping to send the bottles back. So there's a lot of extra prices that are added into it. Now, if it was a local brewery doing it,
hold on. What you're talking about there is it's not. That's not part of it, but that is common practice.
That's common practice.
It's called like essentially a thank you box.
Someone's taking their time out
to
go to drive to the brewery, pick up your package for you.
You want to send them a thank you
box. Drop it off of FedEx or whatever, UPS or whatever.
So which you're already paying for that, and then you say thank you. Here's some more beer, so you got to pay to ship that beer that you go to them.
Exactly. And so if it were local, I think there'd be some griping from some local nerds at first, but I think a lot of us would sign up if one of the local breweries decided, well, we're going to do a lot of our barrel aged stuff as special club membership type stuff. And
I've seen online when I was more active in like Beer Advocate a long time ago that there's people that do that and actually earn an income. Maybe not necessarily specific dollars and put a dollar amount on being a proxy to where they
being a mule?
Yeah, essentially. Or a mule, another word for it, like go up and pick beers for somebody else and you send them back. But somebody will pay this person the cost and then they'll give them a little bit extra. It might be cash, it might be extra beer, but then that person will get, more than they actually put into it, and they might sell that beer or trade that beer. They might even take that, take cash. So there's people that actually make a living off of this. Now, without the proximity factored into it, the other thing is rarity, which is a big deal with beer nerds. People
FOMO.
Fear of missing out, FOMO. And it kind of comes down to, I think, that's the basis of a lot of these membership programs is like,
well, exactly.
We're not giving you a deal, we're giving you really hard to get beer that nobody else has access
to. Basic economics, right? Scarcity.
Exactly.
And
you
value.
are special because the demand for this is extremely high and the supply is low. That's why we're actually charging you more than we would otherwise.
We put something in a barrel or we made something sour and there's only X amount of bottles of it. Sign up for a membership. That's the only way you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, with the saliva drooling off our chins, like Pavlov, Bell going, where do I write my checkout to? Basically, where do I swipe my credit card?
Exactly right. Yeah. And I don't want to say that's the primary deciding factor that made me want to sign up for Superstition, but I'd be lying if I said that didn't play into it.
Because how are you going to get those bottles?
No, I'd be lying if I said this.
So you figure it's worth it for me at least one time to splurge and get this.
You want to know the actual primary reason why I did that is I tried to sign up for Schramm's in Michigan.
Do they have one too?
Yeah, they have one too. And actually, I emailed them 3 times and they never even responded. And I was wow. Screw you, Schramm.
That's only a 6-hour drive away though.
I know, but I was all pissed off. And then Superstition, just like somebody sent it, it's like, hey, they have a few spots open if you want. And I was like, ooh, need Schramm's. I got Superstition, so I actually signed up for it. And then
you showed them.
Yeah, I showed them with my patron dollars. We'll see if it's worth it.
Schramm's is going under now. They lost the Huber.
Yeah, exactly right.
Someone in the office is like, what the hell? His email was never answered.
Why didn't somebody talk to this guy?
Give me Jones.
How did he end up on COCBLOK radio? So. But yeah, I don't know. It makes you question if it's good for people or if it's just good for breweries, because it's obviously good for breweries. But I don't know. Do you think
it's good? I think I remember Lost Abbey complaining about 2 things because theirs was mail. They were mailing theirs out. You didn't need a mule.
Did they mail it to Kentucky?
No, I was in Missouri.
Yeah,
but they decided
nobody mails to Kentucky.
Some people do, but they decided
they're not supposed to.
They decided it wasn't worth the effort. First, for the beer, for different laws of states, like they had to do the license for every state. It wasn't worth it, and also just the ship. You have have to have a little shipping department now. So when you're shipping it out,
there's a lot more cost involved.
A lot more cost involved. You need people to sit there, put the bottles in the packages, tape them up, So all these other breweries aren't shipped. I think in California they'll ship some of them will ship within the state.
Okay.
If you're a member of the club, but not out of state.
I've heard of that.
It's still a pain in the butt. And then
I think brewery does that.
Yeah, they might.
The brewery, yeah.
But even if you're running membership clubs, you still need one employee at least, right? Mm-hmm. To handle all the processing.
Yeah.
Put the bottles aside, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So is it worth the brewery's expense? I think it depends on, the ethereal, I did the numbers in my head. The ethereal release on Monday, which was not a membership thing, just their very first bottle release.
Yeah.
2 bottles a person. When you look at the number of bottles they produced, didn't bring in an astronomical amount of money at all, actually.
No.
Maybe
this was their first bottle release.
Maybe a night's receipts, if even.
Yeah.
So is it worth it? I guess it's worth it only in the sense to say thanks to your fans who like having bottles, increase your reputation and your ethos a bit, that you're bottling some high-end beers.
Yeah.
In the case of the meadery, they might be making a lot of money on that. I don't know. But on some of these smaller releases that aren't membership-driven, I think there's more for the brewery involved. And maybe I'm wrong, and the breweries can later correct us. Yeah. I mean, the very first Country Boy bottle release was a huge moneymaker.
Yeah.
But they had a lot more. They were selling a lot more bottles than Ethereal.
Which one was the first one?
One of the first ones. Was
it Double Barrel Shotgun? Double Barrel Shotgun Wedding?
Well, back when they've returned to the white labels, that series of white label ones, like the Orange Truffle, Mexican Chocolate.
Yeah.
They had 3 of them. You could buy 2 each, I think.
But wasn't the double barrel shotgun the first one, or was that not?
It may have been.
Okay, I don't know.
But I think some of those, they might have generated good revenue. But if you're only doing 180 bottles, you're not making that much money on 180 bottles.
Not really, no.
It just can't be.
Well, there's a mutual friend of ours, Kyler.
Yep.
Tyler Ballard. He's actually a member of the brewery. I hate that stupid name, but anyway, Breury out of California, and they got some really great beers. Most of their stuff is extremely high gravity, extremely strong, and extremely large. Yeah, 750 milliliter bottles.
750 milliliter bottles of brown sugar.
18% alcohol, super thick. I mean, if you drink one of these by yourself in a night, you're gonna go into a coma for like a week. Rip Van Winkle style. Yeah. Me and Kyler were hanging out, I guess it was last night, and we were kind of talking about some of the stuff. And he's actually been a member of the deal with the brewery. They have 3 levels or whatever. And he was like at the second tier, and he has been getting the bottles from them. And every time they have a release of a beer, which they do periodically, they allow you to get extras, and he would get extra. Something like Black Tuesday, for example, which is a huge stout from the brewery. Again, big bottle. Right. I think it's like 17% alcohol. And I can't remember how many he said he had, but I mean, it's probably in the teens. You know what I mean?
He's got 20 Black Tuesdays.
And here's the issue, Kyler lives in Mount Sterling. He doesn't live in the middle of Lexington, or even on the outskirts of Lexington like all of us, to where it's like, hey, I got a bottle of Black Tuesday. You want to come over and share it? Sure, come on over. He lives in, BFE, Mount Sterling, away from the rest of civilization.
He's got to move to Lexington. I don't know what he's doing.
He does need to. But anyway, he's got like this cellar just building, and it's not getting any smaller.
Have you seen his cellar?
Like physically?
Yeah.
I don't think so. He was pissed at me because I haven't come over, but I need to. Kyler, I'm going to come over. We'll drink some beer. I'll drink some of your Black Tuesday. But he said it's getting bigger and bigger, and he's actually getting aggravated because he's got so much high gravity, strong beer that he can't drink because he can't drink it by himself. And like none of us come over to his house drink it. And he comes to Lexington every once in a while, but it's not often enough. So he canceled his membership.
Yeah.
And but he's got a huge reserve of beer. So it's like, was it worth it to him? It probably was in the beginning, and he was actually the butt of an ongoing joke. Every time we go to like a bottle share where we all get together and share stuff, he would always bring like 3 or 4 big brewery 17% beers, and nobody would open them because
there was that one time we bought like 3 of them, and we specifically did not.
Yeah, well, they're great. They're really good, but they're what people call bottle share killers because as soon as you open that bottle, everybody's trashed and everybody passes out or throws up and everybody wants to go home and it's done. So it's like it's what ends up happening is they always wait till the end because nobody wants to like kill their palate and like die right away. So they wait till the end where everybody's already like kind of inebriated.
People are like, I'm done, man. I gotta leave.
And then you open an 18% beer and you're like, this was a huge mistake. And then
because it gets this much, just a tiny bit gets drunken from it, and the guy who it's his beer is like, come on, man, we didn't even finish the bottle.
Especially Kyler, he's like,
left.
I brought this to 4 bottle shares. You all need to drink it.
The host is like, well, maybe it'll be good tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's
or maybe Matt Huber will come over tomorrow morning and drink all the dregs from all the bottles.
I've done that a few times. Come back the next day. But anyway, it's are you gonna?
We could switch gears.
Okay. Well, anyway, I was gonna say about that is the superstition thing seems to be the opposite problem. It's like paying a lot and like I'm not getting any bottles.
If you share them, they're only about 500 milliliters.
Oh, Well, and that's the other thing. I don't even know. There's no information on their website. Really. I had to hunt through Google to even find the list of bottles they're releasing. Like, and maybe they don't have to do marketing.
This is the worst of nerd FOMO behavior. You don't even know what you're getting, and you're willing to shell out the money for it.
I know what I'm getting. I heard about it, but I just wanted like the actual official list.
You heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah. Well, I've had their stuff, so. And you haven't.
No, I have not.
Yeah. I think you're getting the FOMO.
I'm a superstition virgin.
Yeah. You're getting the FOMO.
Oh, I got FOMO for it. I don't even know what it is.
You're gonna say
all you do is tell me something. Hey, man, this is really good, and you can't really get it. I want it. Give it to me right now.
Whatever. So,
speaking about FOMO, I think this is the time of week where a lot of us get good FOMO because it's Lexington Craft Beer Week.
Lexington Craft Beer Week, yes.
We had Chris in.
We're literally right in the middle of it.
We are in the middle. We are in the thick and the storm and the excitement of Lexington Craft Beer Week. They have already, since last Friday, I suppose, been amazing, wonderful, lovely, incredible things going on.
And we are going to talk about that.
What are you pointing at my computer for?
Because we got to go to break.
Oh, we're going to go to break.
Yeah.
And then
we're going to talk about that in a minute.
And we are going to talk all about it.
Put the music on this time.
Hey now, you're listening to COCBLOK.
The Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky. You got to be sure to do that.
I got to do it quicker than
because everyone thinks it's just an obscene program.
That's true. I think it's an obscene program.
Well, it is an obscene program, but
it's 93.9 WLXU FM, Lexington Community Radio. The greatest thing in Lexington since
this show last 2 weeks ago.
Since something else. Yeah. Right.
Anyway,
we are broadcasting from beautiful 6th Street in downtown Lexington, Kentucky, across from the Arcadium.
You try so hard.
The donut place, Limestone.
You're so cute.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it. I need my ego to, and my self-esteem to be...
Your ego stroked?
Ego stroked, my self-esteem to be stroked every now and then, you know?
Okay.
I need to know that I have value in my life.
Well, you don't. So we're right in the middle of Craft Beer Week. Lexington Craft Beer Week. We had one Mr. Chris Vandergrift on the show 2 weeks ago. And he kind of gave us the rundown. We talked about some stuff that we were excited about, and I'm still excited about it, and we're all excited. Am I on there?
Are you on? Are you coming up?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I can't look at the board, so I don't know. Anyway,
you're rocking and rolling, man.
Yeah. There's been a lot of events.
Awesome.
A lot of events.
Your voice is like a meadowlark.
Did you just say my voice is like a meadowlark?
Oh man.
Oh my God! You've been in Copenhagen for way too long. You've been smoking some of that stuff they've been giving you over there.
Well, anyways, it's Lexington Craft Beer Week in Lexington, Kentucky, and it's that time of year, and so...
We've had a lot of good events already.
Right.
We're about halfway through, probably a little over halfway through.
Started last Friday with the bottle release from Country Western.
Yeah, and this will tie right into what have you been drinking. And Country Western has been, I guess, an annual thing. Is this iteration 4?
Number
Country
4.
Western 4.
I'm wearing the number, what shirt am I wearing? 2.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the Country Western 2 shirt.
And if you guys, we actually put these podcasts on YouTube. It's bit.do/cockblock, bit.do/COCBLOK. I love hearing people actually try to what does that spell cockblock.
Well, what is the bit
They
part?
do it like it.
What's the bit part?
It's just like a URL shortener. Don't worry about it. This is technology. This is over you, Facebook boy.
Mind.
Yeah.
You blew my mind.
I'm here, sneeze. No, I'm not.
That's you.
I'm coming back. So anyway,
Country Western 4 released on Friday in bottles, in 750 bottles. It's a collaboration between Country Boy and
West Sixth, and that's a very clever name. Country.
This year it was an Imperial IPA with grapefruit.
Yes, first year. This is the 4th iteration. First year was actually a pale ale.
Right.
You remember that?
I do.
And that one was actually, they didn't release that to a lot of fanfare. They were just kind of like, hey, we did a collab. This is it. It was good.
It was fine, I
It wasn't
thought.
bad.
But people who were expecting big beer were just a little.
And I think
bit
that's the
down.
thing. They didn't put up a whole lot of fuss about it, and because it was just kind of a regular pale, and a lot of people were, I think, were expecting, because that was actually, if I'm not mistaken, that was the first official brewery collaboration in Lexington,
Right.
the Country Western, right?
sure.
Yeah, I think it was, because I remember.
Were there any other breweries at that time?
Alltech. They don't count. Maybe Alltech did some with Budweiser, but the Country Western 1 was good. Country Western 2 was barrel aged, and it was a brown ale, and that was also very good. Fell off kind of quick, but I really enjoyed it, and that was a little bit more like highly acclaimed. 3, a lot of people liked.
Loved it.
It was I guess was it like Imperial
pecan?
Red Ale made with
wait, which one?
pecans.
Yeah, it was the pecan one. Yeah, that was so good.
Made with pecan bourbon barrel aged also, I believe, and that was awesome. I think I still got a bottle. People are still saying it's drinking really well.
Right.
Very strong beer, 13% alcohol, but it's awesome. This year they switched it up, went with an IPA, which is kind of a different direction, but I know they kind of want to experiment. So, have you had it?
I had it on draft on Saturday.
Yeah, I've had it out of the bottle.
I didn't drink it out. I did buy a bottle, but I haven't opened the bottle.
I bought like 3 bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta drink this pretty soon.
Yeah, that's not meant to be cellared or stored. You need
No,
to drink
it's
that
gotta
beer.
have it.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it greatly. I thought it was great. It was a nice, fresh, not heavy grapefruit, but definitely very drinkable IPA. Totally enjoyable, and up there with. I would put it right up there with a lot of other nice Imperial IPAs.
Yeah, I thought it was actually surprisingly smooth.
Yeah, very smooth.
It wasn't super bitter like a lot of double IPAs are. It was surprisingly palatable. The alcohol was pretty well disguised, I guess, but it's still, you can tell it's a stronger beer. And yeah, the grapefruit wasn't overbearing, but a lot of people are putting grapefruit in their hoppy beers now, which seems to be a new trend.
Grapefruit, tangerine, and pineapple are all the new
these
thing.
fruit beers. So, but yeah, it was good. I thought it was kind of similar to Hell or Heaven that West 6 is putting out, which is kind of my go-to this time of the year, which I'm still drinking the hell out.
The other, so we talked about the bottle release at Ethereal on Monday. The other big thing I went to.
Did we?
Well, I was saying. I went over there and got some bottles.
Did we talk about it on the air?
We just talked about it. We're talking about memberships. Are you on the show?
No, but we didn't talk about the beer.
I haven't opened mine. Have you? It's an old ale with Brett.
Balius, right?
Yeah.
Balius, is that how you pronounce it?
It's an old ale with
Old
Brett.
ale. Brettanomyces is a yeast strand.
Usually funky.
Kind of like a funky one, yeah. Right. I'm excited to try that one too. I finally went. They released it. Was it Monday?
Monday.
Okay, I went yesterday and I got a couple bottles. So they do have a few left. If y'all, I guess, if anybody is curious over at Ethereal Brewing, but I got a couple of those and I want to try one of those. I'm excited about that. Our mutual friend Brandon, flown over there, is doing really good.
Oh, he's doing fantastic beers.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be really good. But the other one, this is the one I was actually really excited about. This is also their first bottle release. Blue Stallion.
Blue Stallion this Friday.
Yeah, this Friday. They call it the.
So you got some posters.
Yeah. Anybody watching on the podcast will see this. But I just spoke to Corey Donnelly over there, which is his name is spelled Kore, and I was like, "Hey, Corey," and he's like, "No, it's Corey," and I was
wow,
like,
you've made a great first impression.
I know, right? Like,
I don't even know what your name is.
And I was like, "Dude, I feel like a bug. I'm sorry." And he's like,
"I'm
"No."
Matiti. Hey, Matiti.
Yeah, he's
no,
like,
my
"No,
name is
dude.
Matt,
Every substitute teacher that's ever I've ever had has said the same thing." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
You don't know how to say the substitute teacher's name?
No, like Smita. It's Smith. The th is one.
Joe. My name is Joe.
Yeah. So anyway, they're doing what I guess it's called the Boss Battle series.
I'm very
is,
psyched to get some.
I think this is awesome. Well, I was actually really enamored with like the theme that they got going on here. Right. But they got 4 bottles coming out Friday. All 4 of them are barrel aged. These are the first bottles they will be releasing. And again, if you're following on the podcast on our YouTube channel, we have the Marsden style lager aged in bourbon barrels. This is one of the main ones I was really interested in trying. And Corey actually let me try this. It's really good. It's a lighter beer, but that's what you kind of expect from a lager. You know what I mean? So, but it still has a lot of barrel presence in there. So they got that one, and they called it Tyson. They got the Doppelbock bourbon barrel aged called Gannon. They got the Bowser, which is a Belgian Golden Strong Ale aged in bourbon barrels. And then this is actually the recipe of Chris Vandergrift that was here last week. Yeah. And very good beer. And then they got the Mother Brain. This is the other one I'm super excited about. It's an old ale aged in Pappy Van Winkle bourbon barrels.
Sounds awesome.
For you. Yeah, it sounds amazing. So I'm really excited to try that one. But what I thought was really fun about this is the kind of marketing theme they went with. The whole Boss Battle series. All 4 of these are I guess I should say, they could be similar to a lot of video game villains from the 80s from Nintendo games. You got Mother Brain, Bowser, Ganon, and Tyson. And I thought that was really cool. And I was talking to Corey, and he said he was a big geek growing up, which I am now, I guess, and I was back then. And I remember all these Nintendo games and playing them and getting knocked out by Mike Tyson every single freaking time that I tried to find him. Did you play Nintendo?
No.
You're looking at me like
I don't know what you're talking about.
I guess you had like whatever was before Atari, right?
I studied. I went to class.
Did you really?
Yeah. I went to college.
You're such a nerd. You're a regular nerd. You're like a beer nerd and a regular nerd.
Yeah, I'm really excited for those bottles. I'm going to be there. I'm going to grab my share for sure. Yeah. The other thing really cool at Blue Stallion was yesterday, the test batch takeover.
Yes, I didn't get to make it down to that, but
I guess they've done it 2 years in a row now, where they have about 17 taps.
Quite a few.
Folks who have come in and brewed on premise at Blue Stallion, and they put it under the Blue Stallion name. And there was lots of nice stuff yesterday. Great selection, great crowd. It's great to see, half of Lexington at noon drinking 4-ounce pours or whatever.
Instead of just you by yourself.
Instead of just me by myself. It's great to see that there are other people who can get off work at noon. By the way, if anybody at work heard this, prank call. I was really not off work. I was at work at noon.
Oh. Yeah. If my boss is listening, just
But I think the test batch is a lot of fun. It gives a lot of local folks a chance to brew.
Yeah, it is fun.
And get their stuff under the Blue Stallion name and be creative. And I guess the other thing we found out yesterday is who won the homebrew contest at West 6.
I don't even know.
Oh, you don't know?
Well, I mean, I heard, but I didn't hear officially.
It was the Ginger Braggot.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I saw it online.
That's exciting. That was a really good one. That was a crowd favorate.
And Matt and I were judges. We recorded the homebrew thing. We were going to put it on the air.
Nobody will ever see it.
It didn't work out. He had to burn that tape.
Yeah. That was that went down in flames. But it was fun.
Ginger Braggot will be on tap at some point in the future.
Yeah, I guess. 6. Yeah. They need to package that.
Ginger Braggot.
I think they should have packaged the one last year.
The Blackberry Gozer.
Yeah,
it was great.
That Ben made. I thought that was fantastic. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, there was another beer that there's another collaboration anyway. I guess that's Ethereal and Blue Stallion did the Goza, the tropical Goza.
Oh, did you try that? That was brilliant. I had that on Saturday. That's right.
Well, I had a few minutes to burn. I came over, I stopped at Blue Stallion. I got these posters and talked to Corey, and I actually got to try their version of the tropical Goza, and I tried the Ethereal version yesterday. They're slightly different. They are, and I don't think they're that different. I thought they were both really fantastic. I got a couple people on very different ranges, like areas of the scale, saying like one was better, the other one was better. I thought they were both really good. Both they're very similar.
Maybe one a little tartar than the other, but otherwise both really well done.
Yeah. I would say one was a little more tart and the other one was maybe a little more salty. But it's very,
I love the way the fruit got.
Minute, yeah.
I've heard some people complaining about the dragon, like, well, dragon fruit's so expensive. How can they use so much dragon fruit? I don't know. I got a lot of that fruit, that nice tropical fruit.
Have you ever had an actual dragon fruit?
Yeah.
Have you really? I have not.
When you're in Israel,
Copenhagen, when you're in Copenhagen, actually, like I was, like nobody else was.
When you're in Israel in the summer, dragon fruit's everywhere. Yeah. It's very common.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend as much as you do it here.
It just like grows in your lawn.
Well, it's common in the markets anyway.
Dragon fruit grass.
Dragon fruit grass.
Yeah. So what else have you been drinking?
I
guess you've been.
It's just the stuff that we're doing mostly this week. I'll be heading to Ethereal probably today for the Rum Barrel Baba. That's going on.
Yes, Baba Yaga.
Yep.
Now this was originally their anniversary beer. What? Oh no, we're good. You need to calm down. Jeff's all like freaking out, like they're gonna kick us out of the studio. I think we should talk for another hour.
This is another show after our show.
Yeah, be spontaneous.
Gotta be polite.
Yeah, well, we can be polite. Okay, well, but anyway, Baba Yaga was Ethereal's Imperial Stout at their initially released at their anniversary party a year ago, and it was lots of everybody was all over it, right. Very highly acclaimed. And now this one that they're putting out tomorrow is rum barrel aged. Is that right?
Right.
And they actually released a bourbon barrel aged one at West 6th a few days ago, and I missed that too. I'm so busy. I hate work.
Yeah, I didn't go to that.
I just don't want to work, so I can just drink beer all the time. I think that's what they call bums, right?
That is.
Okay.
Being a hobo.
I want to be a bum. Can somebody pay me to be a bum? Well, I guess that defeats the purpose. Then I wouldn't be a bum anymore.
You'd be paid.
What do you call a paid bum?
Employed. Professor. Anyways, man, they're looking in the window. Okay. They're ready to go. We've said a lot, maybe too much. It's been a great, amazing edition of COCBLOK, the Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky, and WLXU FM 93.9. And what else you got to say, man? Anything?
That's it. Tune into our podcast if you meet her. Tell your friends. bit.do/COCBLOK.